Like I said, football essentially comes down to results. Anything aside results, nothing matters. Anything that makes us all of a sudden, and slots Liverpool are just 1 point off Chelsea, 1 point on top of Chelsea. It means that after all the stats from Anna Slots and then Chelsea are just 1 point away from them. And that is the story of football. It's a story of win, get results, and be spoken about. If not, then you get in trouble. That's exactly what happens in football. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification turn Michelle, choose all send anytime your content ever drop you are first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, we investor here, and congratulations to you because the 10 odds are boomed. And 2 more are waiting. We have 3 more codes in the waiting, and it looks like we're going to feast on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Every day, we win our Hasinti. If you picked up the 10 odds, then congratulations. We'll see you. Of course, make sure to buy 10 ball channel and at least 1 more code in the account. Come on, party. Of course, on Monday, we go in big again. Tuesday, Champions League. Wednesday, Champions League. Thursday, Europa League. I mean, back to back games. Every day I was in Fiifi-Manfred YouTube. So subscribe here, subscribe, turn on notification, in the notification turn and do choose on a BNY come on. Let's say a big thank you to Yesumo Spare Parts dealership shop. When it comes to spare parts, it'll come outside here. And the best place, hey Yesumo, top guy. So maybe I've been spare parts, yeah. Then it's Yesumo, friend, CCA or Accra, was so kind, post office on my home, and a Yesumo, but Uni Accra. Then he does what he calls the nationwide delivery. Friend on 059-313-8221. Call Yesumo today. Let him take very good care of you. Don't find him and of course, if you want apparel, then it's MOB Clothing. MOB Clothing. Or the nicely. MOB Clothing. Make sure call MOB Clothing today when it comes to clothes. Friend. Tudu a flower station or Tudu a flower station or Tudu. Friend on 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708. Mr. For MOB Clothing, CC, let him come and give you the best set of clothes I open. Untd and BB and come up and from now. See a big game going into this match day. We knew that there was a possibility that Liverpool may be in trouble on Manchester United. I remember in the pre-match analysis, both on Inshira and also on the 4Post podcast. So I kept on telling the guys, there is an opportunity there for Manchester United because Liverpool for are wounded. They've lost 3 games on a bounce. They definitely psychologically will not be at the highest place. They will be at a point where they will begin to question some of the decisions that they are making from the coach, the technical team, and even to the players in the field of play. And that is what defeats that for teams. So, lose 1 game, it affects you psychologically. It makes you think about Niema Waye before, whether what you're doing is right, whether you're doing is good, and all of those things. It makes you think about it. So, definitely, I kept on mentioning, Manchester United will have an opportunity. I also think that one thing that happened in the international break that seemed to have gone in favor of Manchester United was that seeming vote of confidence. Papa, your friend, what's the name? Manchester United. I mean, minority owner, Ed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Edema coach, your friend Ruben Amorim. No, it would have given him an enormous confidence to feel like Charlie. If not for nothing, for the short term, I have the confidence of the club owner. I have the confidence of the owner of the club. Let me push on. Let me get the boys to go forward. We'll be able to deliver. We'll get goals and then we can build on that momentum and then do something magical for team friend in Manchester United. That is exactly what Ruben Amorim would have felt going into this one. And it was a huge game in the contest of the English Premier League, in the contest of maybe Manchester United, in the contest of maybe Liverpool, and of course a derby game between the two teams. What can Manchester United do? What can Liverpool do? How is the game going to look like? That was huge. And then if you go and say, okay, make a question assistance now. English Premier League table, how does it look like? We're here for the Manchester United, and here for the Liverpool. You will see that it's an intriguing conversation based on Manchester United, based on Liverpool for and with respect to how the games are going. Huge. What it means is the assistance now. Arsenal are 4 points away. I remember also speaking about the fact that if Liverpool loses against Manchester United, for me, it means that Arsenal are running away with the league. And for all of a sudden, it looks as you say there is a new team on the Arsenal league in the whole this season. It looks as you say a team your friend of Manchester City. When we started the league, a lot of us did write Pep Guardiola and then the Manchester City team off. We never give them a dog chance as to whether they can go in there and upset the odds and go and win something for team of friend of Manchester City. But all of a sudden, in the last few days, the last few weeks, Man City team is beginning to grow. I mean, length by length, step by step, growing into it. And all of a sudden, they've gotten into it. And also English Premier League table, also Arsenal, it was 19 points. Man City, it was 16 points after 8 games. Liverpool at third with 15 points. Bournemouth, 15 points. Chelsea, 14 points out of them, and that's exactly what the top 4 looks like. Tottenham Hotspur, and then after losing 14 points, Sunderland 14 points, Crystal Palace 13 points, Man City, Manchester United 13 points, Brighton and Hove Albion 12 points, Aston Villa 12 points, Everton 11 points. That is exactly what the English Premier League looks like. And for me, this is what was at stake in the lead up to that big game between Liverpool and Manchester United. And we'll talk about the detail. We'll talk about exactly what Manchester United did right and the issues with the Liverpool team and how it looks like Manchester United are going in confidence step by step and understanding how things are going to go. When games are derby games like this yes, you need a structure, but it's also important to get the sense of the fact that you need a team that wants it more. You need a couple of players that physically want to win games, that want to be aggressive, that want to make sure say they win duels and their battles every day. So your team will be able to go on and win matches. And I think that's exactly what Manchester United did. The game was transitional. And I remember in the pre-match analysis, my catcher Richardo said, if it's about a transitional game, then I'll always give Manchester United a dog chance. I'll always give Manchester United a dog chance because it's a match in the transitional. I say, okay, you need somebody that wants to dwell and be physical and be combative to turn possession around this animal there. Then you know that you need it in a brand here. You get it in team of friend Manchester United because it's going to be transitional. It's going to be long balls after long balls. It's going to be second balls after second balls. It's going to be set piece after set piece. It's going to be battles that will feel on them. And I think that Liverpool have certain players they are beginning to lose ground. Yeah, starting season, it was Liverpool that were on top. They were winning games at the last minutes of games. And I remember telling everybody, said, when you play games and almost every time you are leaving it later, there are definitely going to be times where you will not be able to leave it late. There are going to be times where you will not be able to get not just luck, but then the time to turn possession around, to turn the tide around and then win games. So it may not come again. So Liverpool need to firm it up. This season, it looks like the non-existence of Sir Liverpool midfield has been a big question. What is the role of Abrantia friend Alexis McAllister in the middle of the park, on the ball and off the ball? Liverpool's unavailability of a number 6 who can win duels, who can be physical, who can turn possession over and make things stick around the middle of the park has been huge also. And in fact, this morning, people are beginning to ask questions of Arne Slot, say, it looks as if the first season was really an extension of what Jurgen Klopp had done and not particularly the work of Arne Slot. But see, these last 4 games, the loss against Crystal Palace, the loss against Galatasaray, the loss against Chelsea Football Club, and then this current one against Manchester United, it's going to really let all of us know who really Arne Slot is, how really he is, what's the mentality, what's the ideology, what does he stand for? Does Arne Slot really, have what it takes to coach at this level, our English Premier League game or not? Now with Arsenal 4 points off team and friend in Liverpool, 3 points off Manchester City, it means that the big chance, big opportunity, our Arsenal for this. If they flop it, then that is up to them. But it's a big opportunity for Arsenal to go into the course of the season and then push up and get the results that they want to go on and then go and get on. It also means that Liverpool has some catching up to do. For teams like Chelsea, it tells you what I've been saying. Football essentially comes down to results. When a team gets results, and I say, Obi Bobo, and I say, Unya results we say that, team is good and whatnot. People don't really care about progress. Now, all of a sudden, Chelsea are in and around the top 4. Just 1 point of Liverpool, who are defending champions, 2 points of Manchester City, and then of course 5 points of your friend Arsenal at the very top. It is an open league, and if you look at the next set of games at Airbab, it is very, very interesting. I mean, in that regard, Liverpool next fixture this week, of course, Omoka in the Champions League against Eintracht Frankfurt away from home. They go and play against Brentford, League game away from home. Then they come home and play in the EFL Cup against Crystal Palace. Also, next week. Then they play against Aston Villa. They play against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Play against Man City in the league. Play against Nottingham Forest. No easy games for team my friend in Liverpool on the horizon for them. So, I mean, it is really, really going to be interesting if you look at the kind of games that are coming up for Liverpool Football Club. Again, when you look at Arsenal, the games that are coming on from there, when you look at the fixtures that Arsenal Football Club has, the Arsenal lots to play against Atletico de Madrid midweek or Champions League game. They play against Crystal Palace or League game in London Derby. Then they play against Brighton and Hove Albion, also huge one. Then they play against Burnley, against Arsenal, and then Slavia Praha. Arsenal fairly has some pretty easier games if you compare it to that of team your friend in Liverpool. Also in that regard, and of course, there's a conversation in and around Manchester City, who also playing the Champions League this week. They also playing the Champions League after the last time out against Monaco. Away to Villarreal. Thomas Partey, Villarreal away from home. Then they play against Aston Villa, who is on ascendancy. Unai Emery's team are beginning to take together, and then the big team, my friend Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Really, really interesting game. Of course, Aston Villa is in the Midlands, but then I mean, usually when games between the Midlands, Birmingham, Money, Villa, and of course Tottenham Hotspur landing teams this year, and a cagey encounter, and a lot is at stake in that regard. It was a really, really interesting game between the two. Of course, Aston Villa for Man City will play them after the Villarreal game. Swansea City in the EFL Cup, Bournemouth in the English Premier League, and Dortmund follow suit our Champions League. So there are lots of really interesting games, and of course, on the part of Chelsea Football Club, if you look at the games that are going to go on from there, Chelsea play really, really tough games also. Next game at Chelsea, Ajax Amsterdam, in the Champions League at home. Ajax were beaten. Ajax are in a bad place. Johnny Heitinga is not really delivering the good football that he has to deliver. Ajax Amsterdam, so they are in a bad place over there. Chelsea will need to cement their stance our Champions League by winning that game against Ajax Amsterdam. If they win, they get 6 points out of a possible 9 and put themselves in a good position for the next game that they go and play away from home in a very, very difficult place away from home. If they get those 9 points, then it sets their tone before Barcelona and then possibly going on the rest of the games. After that, Chelsea come at home and play against team, my friend is Sunderland. They play with Hampton Wanderers in the EFL Cup away from home, and then play Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League right after the EFL Cup on the 1st of November. On the 1st of November, after 29th, Chelsea play on the 1st of November against Tima Yefreno, Tottenham Hotspur, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and they play Champions League on the 5th. Just 4 days after that, they play Champions League against Qarabag. That's a tough one over there for Chelsea. And after that, that is where there's going to be one last weekend game, and then right after that, there's going to be 1 week international break for Chelsea. So when they come and play Burnley away from home for themselves, and then right after that, there's the Barcelona game, there's Arsenal, there's Leeds United, there's Bournemouth. Really, really interesting and tough games when it comes to that game. Because we're English Premier League game. But what happened today at Anfield? Like I said, it was a game that Liverpool had to win. It was such a game that Liverpool had to win. Everybody expected that Liverpool, after all the not so good results that they had gotten, they'll be able to get something out of this game. They'll be able to build something in this one and then get a result. But then, I mean, it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. If you look at the game that Manchester United went into it, it tells you the quality of play from there that Manchester United went into it. Again, I think that Manchester United were a very physical team in this match. They went into the game with a lot of physicality, a lot of aggression, and make sure that almost every time they'll be able to turn over possession in that regard. Again, Osha Obito said Brian Mbeumo, his quality has been there for everybody to see. Almost everybody who named the quality of a brand friend in Brian Mbeumo is there. Those finishing ability. And again, somebody will question those the defensive instincts of our branch friend of Virgil van Dijk. Again at Chelsea, that's Moises Caicedo, and then this one. Long ball, Virgil van Dijk goes into it with Mbeumo. He wins that aerial duel. The Mbeumo goes down. Virgil van Dijk gets up before him. Now Van Dijk instructs his second in command, which is our branch friend Ibrahima Konate, to go back and tell Ibrahima Konate, say, cover me over there in the space where Brent friend Mbeumo is attacking. Ibrahima Konate is late with the cover, doesn't really pick it up. A little bit sluggish with his defensive cover, and then of course, Brian Mbeumo attacks that space and then slots it in the back of the net for team friend Manchester United, and that obviously gives Manchester United that's all important win in that regard. Ruben Amorim, of course, has won back-to-back Premier League matches for the very first time since about Manchester United. No, really back-to-back Premier League matches that. But what a night it is for him. Winning the first ever back-to-back Premier League game at Anfield is huge for coach friend Ruben Amorim. And for me, it is something that whatever you look at it, whichever way you look at it, I think Manchester United were good on the night. I think that Manchester United were very, very good on the night, but given that Liverpool have lost 4 games in a row over there for themselves. If you look at the games that they've been playing, the quality of play, it hasn't been good at all for team my friend in Liverpool. 4 matches they have lost in terms of the matches that they've been able to play. The quality of play, one of those things where you look at it and you say that how did Manchester United, how did Liverpool get here in terms of side results now? I mean, when Manchester United went up by a goal to 0, it was really about Liverpool trying to create. But then the normal creativity that you get from Mohamed Salah from out wide wasn't happening for them. The normal creativity that you get. And I think that's one thing that I said, and I said last season, transferring the name, when we were all talking about Hugo Ekitike, I kept on mentioning that Ekitike looks to me than a better player than Alexander Isak in that Liverpool team. And I remember telling people that if you have Ekitike today and you have Alexander Isak, I will go for Hugo Ekitike for Chelsea. Why? Because Ekitike makes things happen for them. He drops central, he picks up the ball, he runs at people. Once Ekitike is in a game, he runs at people, he makes things happen in there for you. And I don't know why Arne Slot seem to always want to go with the fact that Obesodi Ekitike is not bench, not starting with a brighter friend Alexander Isak. But Ekitike is the real deal. He is the one that pulls strings for your friend in Liverpool in that game when he came on in the second half. And of course, one other player that was also very dangerous for them was a bench friend Cody Gakpo. I think that in terms of Liverpool attackers now, he was the most dangerous in that regard. I can understand that because it's a derby game, and as Slot went to a bench friend Conor Bradley. But then again, the most important thing was that Liverpool have invested so much, especially in fullback. Milos Kekes is not up on the level where people thought he was, even at the time when they were going to buy him. Same for a bench friend Jeremy Frimpong, also not at the level where people expect him to be. But I think that is a game where at certain point in time, Jeremy Frimpong could have been the difference maker in that regard. But then, of course, when he came on, I thought I was pretty much late, and there was much more momentum on the side of Manchester United from an attacking point of view, because the game had become really, really transitional in that regard. Of course, on the other side, there was a conversation in and around team your friend Liverpool as well, and in terms of what they are going to be able to do. So our midfield, at some point in time there was no Ryan Gravenberch, the absence of our bench your friend Alexis McAllister. Really, the form has really dipped. Alexis McAllister is not in a good place. He is not in a good place. The form has become some way where almost every time Alexis McAllister is flattering to deceive in terms of the consistency of his performances, the ability to really do better, create chances. I mean, get the job done in that regard. It's something that has been missing from my brand here friend Alexis McAllister. I mean, you would want Alexis McAllister to be that tempo controller. You want Alexis McAllister to be the one that pulls the strings for team your friend in Liverpool. But then all of a sudden, it's not happening for him. It's really, really not happening for him. Of course, after 35 matches, Ruben Amorim has first of won back-to-back Premier League games for Manchester United. The very first time as a Manchester United manager, he would want to build on that. It's a good one for him. When Cody Gakpo I felt that maybe at that point in time, Cody Gakpo would be able to I mean, help Liverpool turn it around at that point in time. But it wasn't meant to happen. And Mbeumo has contributed 18 Premier League goals in 2025. Only Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah have more than Abrantia, the friend of Brian Mbeumo. And Charlie, what a performance by Abrantia friend Samuel Lamens. He was an excellent goalkeeper on the night power for team friend Manchester United. Everything that you wanted them to do, Abrantia friend Samuel Lamens was right there delivering for Manchester United. I mean, did some real stuff, got a job done, delivered the job. I mean, sorted things out on them. Of course, if you look at the game that Manchester United played up, they deserve to get the results that they did get. It's an excellent result over there for team and friend of Manchester United. Quality play on them for Manchester United, and that's exactly what they had to go on and to go and do on them at Manchester United. Getting the 3 points is super important, and of course, if you look at everywhere at Manchester United, everybody's talking about Manchester United and what it comes with, exactly what Ruben Amorim has been able to do, the quality of play for Manchester United, how they've been able to win so much. That is a very good one. That is a very good one for team my friend of Manchester United. It's a solid performance. That second goal from our branch friend Harry Maguire, I've seen it several times. I think that one of the things that Ruben Amorim is doing well in the attacking phase, especially from set pieces, that Ruben Amorim asks his defenders to attack the far post. I said it's something that he does these days. He said, then everybody's supposed to attack the far post. In that lead up to that goal from our branch friend Harry Maguire, it was the far post attacking. It was about 3 or 4 Manchester United players and attacking the far post now. And once the ball evaded Abrantia friend Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk, there was a big opportunity for Abrantia friend Harry Maguire, who is the big captain, big captain, stood up, got counted, and then got a job done. That is a very good one for them. And then all fans around the world, Manchester United, will be pumping, will be excited to be able to get our results for against team friend Liverpool, because that is the arch rivals of team and friend Manchester United. To be able to get those results in these circumstances is huge for Manchester United. What it means that United will begin to build on that momentum. They will begin to hope that they'll be able to turn things around when it comes to Manchester United. But see, we can't talk about this Manchester United team and the success that they were able to have in this game without talking about Abrantia friend Samuel Lamens. He was excellent. He was immense. He was pure quality in that regard for team and friend Manchester United. Everything that you needed Manchester United to do, everywhere that you needed Manchester United to do, Abrantia friend Samuel Lamens was right there. The cross claiming, the shot stopping, the communication. I mean, he was super in that regard. Goalkeeper friend Samuel Lamens again, and of course, he was solid at the back. The shot stopping. There was one ball into the part of Abrantia friend Mohamed Salah, the far post. The speed with which he came out to come and close the angle of Mohamed Salah was one of the best things that you can look at. He was solid. He came out quickly, closing the angle of our branch friend Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah, a ball, played it somewhere else, and that is exactly the kind of goalkeeper that you need at this point in time. If you look at Manchester United, the quality of player, Samuel Lamens, the saves in the game was brilliant, very brilliant. If you look at Liverpool, they were much more patient, building up the game from the back and hoping they could create some more chances. There was a time where ball will be in between the part of our bench friend Alexander Isak at the first ball, and Samuel Lamens was right there over there to deal with Manchester United for. Yes, the issues of Manchester United having just gone just because United have won this game, but then again you could tell there's some level of improvement. Again, like I said, that's good that Manchester United scored. The far post on them, the ball that came, the cross that was retained by Abrantia friend Mason Mount over there by Bruno Fernandes, and then the far post overload. It's so clear. So Manchester United overloading the far post. Look at that. Just look at 3 players at the far post: Dogu, Delict, and Abrantia, your friend Harry Maguire, overloading our far post for Manchester United to make sure that they get a job done on. And of course, Untd, Manchester United have never lost a game that Samuel Lamens has started in every game that he has been in. He has been superb. He has been immense over there for team my friend Manchester United. All of Manchester United players have left the pitch except for one man, Harry Maguire, Of course, Maguire has gone through a lot of things. He has gone through a whole lot of things at Manchester United. And if there's one person who deserves to celebrate that, then it's Harry Maguire. Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire hugging each other in the dressing room. Maguire, after the game, I had some series of interviews. We, of course, one can be interviewed. See, I must say, I am heavily impressed with Saint Lamens. I don't want to get carried away because he's playing in a position with the most pressure. It's the most difficult position at Manchester United, but he's got a great personality. That is what Harry Maguire said. This performance is up there with our best performances under Amorim. I say we need to give credit to Ruben Amorim and his staff. When he came in, he said we need to change the culture of the club, and now we have to stick with him. That is exactly what Captain Efreno Harry Maguire can say. Charlie, Ruben Amorim said that he needs to change the culture, and he believes that the culture has been changed. They've gotten a big win away Anfield against Liverpool, and if they've gotten that win there, then they need to stick with him. He goes and says, my goal, let's talk about Bruno's cross. It looks way easier than it is. Said the cross that Bruno Fernandes put in. They caught Liverpool's captain, Virgil van Dijk, said, we have to clear our heads, but this will be hard, talking about where they are right now in terms of turning things around. Of course, see, that's exactly what things are going to look like. Virgil van Dijk said the reality is that we lost 4 games in a row. Of course, you lost 4 games in a row. We have been through tougher times than this, according to Virgil van Dijk. I'm not going to talk about whether the referee should have stopped the game at their first goal, but then again, we forced these things way too much today. We're constantly in a rush, according to Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool were constantly in a rush, trying to make things happen for themselves, and maybe they could have been more patient in terms of turning things around. They could have probably done better in that regard. So we created chances, we could have won, but then really we lost all of them. De Ligt also spoke to the media. De Ligt said, look at how players like Lenny Yoro came in and then performed. It's not easy for a defender to come on and perform, but the substitutes helped us. I think United fans should enjoy this and have a good dinner tonight. That's a very good one. It's been a long time since we won 2 games in a row. Oh, Charlie, the players even knew over there. Harry Maguire, I know they say a win is just 3 points, but this one is worth more. I've been here for 7 seasons, and coming here to win is difficult. The last few years have not been the best for this club. That is exactly what Harry Maguire can say. Charlie, Manchester United have struggled. They have suffered to get wins and results, and doing it Anfield against Team Ayafreno, Liverpool is huge for them. On beside the legs, Harry Maguire, we have the striker option in front anytime that he needs to go there. I mean, today is for Harry Maguire, for everything that he has gone through as a player, for the things that he has suffered as a young player, and of course getting to where he is. It's a big night for Manchester United, and I think that they deserve everything that they've got today. All the excitement, all the Manchester United fans, this is for you. 1 point behind in 5th place Chelsea, 2 points 3rd place Liverpool, 3 points 3rd place Man City, 6 points top place Arsenal. According to Manchester United, the season starts now. Because Ruben Amorim has turned things around, according to Manchester United fans, which is very good because, of course, the league has to be very competitive. Nobody has to be able to run away with the league like they did last season. It's a good one for Team my friend Manchester. Manchester United have won away at the defending champions back-to-back seasons for the very first time in 17 years. Last season they did it against Team my friend Man City. This time they've done it against Team my friend Liverpool. Liverpool have now lost 4 matches in a row across all competitions this season. Last season they lost only 4 games across the entire Premier League's campaign. Charlie, that is a huge one for Team your friend Liverpool, and then they have supporters on them. Let's see if things are going to turn. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. So then, take care. Bye-bye.